Miramar is coming up next for match 2 for Group C and D. And to give everyone back home a little bit of a taster of what's been happening, now you can view this on the Club Open PUBG Mobile website. You know where to head over to that. But me and Larson will give you a quick breakdown. So Magic, MG, they came away with a first place and they got 30 placement points and then 13 kill points, giving them 43. Now, less than our first winner for Group A and B, right? They had 17 kill points on the win off the back of it. But that's a good start either way. 99 problems. That second place netted them, only having 2 kill points, right? But they got 22 placement points for it, which is the huge reason why just hiding away sometimes, sitting back, chilling, can work out.
Definitely, and we see that working out for the solo guy, just hiding in the shack. And those 99 public, I'm so pinned down there for the longest time. Because first they were fighting with, I believe, Asterix, which was underneath the bridge. Then we had Team 8 pull up on the other side of the fence of the compound. And then Magic, our game winner, took over the bridge after Asterix got defeated. And we can see the scoreboard here.
Hey, we got the scoreboard. I'm down. I love it. So in terms of how that actually worked out, despite 99 problems actually coming in second place, right, they only walked away with actually third place because B13 Golden Boys, they managed to get the job done with 27. Rose Squared up there in fourth. Team Unique, now a lot of kills, 8 kills up on there, but got eliminated early on there, less than ideal for them. But still, they can be happy with how that performance was overall, I'd say.
What I just want to point out from Unique is they had to make a lot of really tough rotations.
Yeah.
And the circle prior to where they died, they had to use their last vehicle in the sense that it got blown up. So they didn't have much choice to get into the next circle. And from where they were, I believe they were on the far right side of the circle and had to move to the far left. And when you use your smokes, your cars are blown up, there's much you can do. But as long as they were in the fight, they were showing really good signs of life. And I expect a lot more from Unique throughout the last 3 games of today.
Now, if anyone was watching the broadcast yesterday for Europe, we found a team called Kuma, and they gave us some very interesting moments. We have not yet found a Kuma in this lobby, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, could be less entertaining for me personally, but either way, we'll see if another team decides to do that. It's a bit of fun we're having with that team, who actually did have a good performance at the very last game. So now on Miramar, very difficult map for rotations, a little bit harder for vehicles playing into it. You really can't afford to be kind of making these early mistakes in real rotations because you will quickly find yourself being caught off guard.
And the toughest part for me, as I used to be a pro player, I used to be an in-game leader, is keeping the vehicles safe and sound until about circle 5, where that's usually the time where you can say, okay, now you can actually manage to play the rest of the game on foot. But if you were to lose your vehicles and you're in a bad spot in the zone, it's so devastating to try and make it across the big open terrains, so usually leading to you running like across a big field, then you have to run up a mountain, and usually on all these mountains and hilltops there's just people above on top of them shooting down on you. Makes it just, whew. You want your vehicles, but then again, when you think about driving around the Miramar, usually people, they set up roadblocks so you can't use the roads, and when you have to drive up the hills, you're just slow, it's bumpy, and Picado is occupied by 3 teams here. I like this. Picado was a great place, and we didn't have anybody landing Picado yesterday.
This is going to be a rough ride for one team for sure, right? There's always going to be some sort of fight. I don't think they're all going to back away quite happily here. But the circle popped, and it was pretty fair. It was always a little bit towards the middle, gone down more towards the southwest. But I think a lot of teams were already inside of it, which will give them a better opportunity to say, okay, we can define a little bit of a position advantage here and kind of try and grab some space where we want. Oh, dear.
Is he going to be lazy or is he going to be double lazy? Oh, no, he sees him, right? Yeah, he saw him.
He got the weapon out.
He only had a Winchester.
Go back to the fight. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's okay.
There we go. Okay. He needs to be careful.
He has a Winchester only, though, and I don't think he has any body armor. He has a helmet.
I like it, though. He's backing away. He's like, I don't know what this guy's got. Is it really worth the risk? The guy actually has an AK, which you don't really want to fire up into with that. It's not a fair fight. It's an interesting fight. It'd be impressive if you could pull it off, but 9 times out of 10, the AK would probably win.
Look at Esthenik. He has level 3 helmet, level 2 chest, an AK, and M16. Our fellow guy there with the Winchester, I don't believe he had any body armor. No, that's definitely not a fair fight, and a fight that you shouldn't have to take alone. If he could call in his teammates and we're close, then sure, you can go 4v1 and try to get a point for free without losing anyone. But I think it's the right call to not try and take a 1v1 this early, just because you don't net anything for your team by getting a kill there. Like, you're not fighting for positioning, you're not trying to rotate in, you're really far away from the circle, so just backing away is more than reasonable. See, this is something I don't like. I don't like this island. I'm just paranoid. Because personally, whenever I see an island circle
Yeah.
or I'm on the island, I love bridge camping.
Just sit there and wait for him. It's like, come to me, my prey. Let me just gun you down.
I don't know why. I'm the kind of person who just finds so much enjoyment in camping on a bridge, knowing that somebody has to cross the bridge and they're essentially just free kills. So if I start up looting on an island, I would be so paranoid that somebody would camping the bridge and I wouldn't have access to leave that island.
Now, White Pulse over here, right? They showed us that they were willing to engage in some of these early fights, right? Take some of the good positions, try and challenge for it. But they went down a little bit earlier than probably what they would have liked because they did kind of overcommit to it, right? They also had Unique shooting down on them at the same time. It was a rough ride for them on the previous map. So they'll be looking to kind of still come in there with the kill points, but play probably a bit smarter going into Miramar now.
I think that the right game plan, they were just a bit unfortunate that they chose to crash the one compound that Unique had occupied. I don't know. I feel like that they had the potential to maybe be skilled enough to take out most teams, but Unique's aggression, they were just too much for them, and they couldn't manage to get any ground, which was why we saw them all clustered up together at the fence, and they were just an easy nade. Ricardo, everything is just quiet.
Ooh, I don't like this for Harb. Rose Square, he's not there with the rest of his teammates. He's chilling in this compound, but if Asterion continue to close out all those compounds, keep checking all of it, and they've got two players together, it's going to be very hard for Harp to hold on.
So since we have the people that are checking compounds lazy, and we have the double lazy when they go in unarmed, what do we call people that just sits in a corner and camps?
Give me a second. Let's think about this one.
Also this one.
The passive fool.
Yeah,
I don't think we should
call anyone a fool. I'm just more like I don't know. I thought initially something with sweaty. I feel like you're sitting in a corner, you're like I don't know. Like I'm a little bit scared. I'm afraid to move. What about sweaty camper?
Sweaty camper. Okay, we'll take that.
That's not too offensive, right?
No, definitely not.
Unique here. They're creeping up. Where's this Hacienda and Los Jonas, right? And they're here at Magic. And if you think about it, placement points are so important in this format. And Unique, I believe they're a team that want to go all the way. And what better way of denying placement points than defeating and trying to kill the #1 team from last game?
But could it be more than they can handle? That's it, right? It comes down to, yes, we can have that confidence in the individual ability. When it comes down to actually taking that fight and you lose, both of you lose a couple of players and then you maybe try back away, then you've just hindered each other even further.
Yep. And you can see we still have 16 teams alive and all 64 players staying on the server. That is very unusual for 7 minutes into the game. So I think people are just starting to realize actually what they're playing for, which is essentially a chance at getting to the grand finals, and throughout this year having a chance of taking home $2.5 million.
I'd like a bit of that money, please. I'll happily take some of that 2.5 mil, life-changing amount of money.
But James, then we would have to be good at playing the video game.
But you are, and I'm good at memeing. I have my naked mobile character to run around.
I would like to think that I were, but I haven't put in enough effort.
Okay, let's translate your incredible knowledge and the fact that I play a lot of PUBG Mobile because I'm always traveling and that's my game to go to. Then we just need to find 2 more people. So someone in chat right now, if you want to join up with me and Larson, we're ready to take the events by storm, PUBG Mobile style.
Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I'm just going to say, hey, we're going to sit in these houses. When the circle moves, we're going to drive away. And then I'll be the sweaty camper. And then you guys can shoot us off.
So what am I then? Am I going to be the lazy peeker?
I mean, if you want to.
Well, I'll do it with a gun in my hand because I'll have that confidence.
I don't think if we make a team, we'll have any lazy peekers because I am like, I don't want to say toxic, but when people make mistakes at the higher level, then you call out your teammates and say, hey, you did this wrong. You want to focus on improving on this. So maybe not toxic, but you have to give criticism and, you know, tell your teammates what they can improve on and, you know, what they're doing wrong. That's really essential to growing, is being able to handle criticism.
Look at that distance. One of the Ultra players just landed it onto DM.
I mean, it's Picado. It's a few hundred meters, and from what we've seen these past 5 minutes, it's been these 3 teams just sitting around the same houses, not trying to make any moves to really engage or disengage. And personally, I do not want to peek here because you lose meds, you lose body armor.
Exactly.
And we can see the player we just spectated. He had one first aid and one energy drink. You don't really want to have to spend those already, and one of their guys just got knocked. So you split Picado between 3 teams. That means you don't have a lot of loot. And when they're on top, I call that building the 6th story just because it's a tall building. Ooh. And look at 3D Max. They're straight center of the circle and they're gifted an airdrop.
They're like, all of our prayers have been answered. We have the drop, we have the zone, and now everyone else has to come to us.
One thing, I don't know if you can like say it's fair or not, but in competitive PUBG and airdrops, I'm just like, if they land on you, you grab them. If they land somewhere in the open, nobody gets them. And I do remember qualifying for PGI, which was the biggest PUBG tournament on PC ever.
Yeah.
In the qualifier stages on LAN, we landed in South Georgia Bowl. And in one of the games, we had 2 airdrops land on top of each other in the early game in South Georgia Bowl. Just like, well, we're going to win that game now.
Thank
Fantastic.
you very much. Yeah.
And, you know, it's the same for 3D Max here. It's like, especially in competitive PUBG, you only really go for the airdrops that are very low risk. You kind of... When I play public games, I will kill myself more often than not going for airdrops, and I'll be happy about it.
By the way, just so you know, because you would get tilted playing with me. I'm that guy that sees a drop that goes in the water, and I'm like, hell yeah, no one's going for that. That's mine.
Playing public games and airdrops, I'm all in. And we actually see 3D Max getting caught off here, right?
Ooh, no, this is not looking good for 3D Max.
And they had a player straight smack center in the zone, so a little bit of an unlucky rotation, and this is something that happens quite often if you don't rotate together as 4 people, because one guy will be like, hey, I'm safe here, and they'll be like, awesome, you have a great spot, but then they drive a little bit carelessly, and then you can get picked apart on the way to your teammate.
That's not what they would have wanted, like we were just saying, right? They had the supply drop, they also had a good zone position, but having that one player down early on is going to make things very difficult when they're going into some of these engagements. And okay, we've seen this circle change already. We're getting over closer to phase 3, and that's actually going to make this very hard as more shots are coming in. And Untouched gets rode over as well as shot at the same time. MD have rolled up on 3D Max, and they're looking to deliver all the damage. Untouched goes down. 3D Max are stuck in a very difficult position now. You just don't want to compete against this. This is not something worth fighting for, and you've lost 2 players early on.
So now they're down to 2, and they have the center of the zone. I would like to see those 2 players just say, okay, this is potentially not a game we're going to try to win. We're going to call it a salvage game. And I want to see them split up and try and take as much ground as now as possible. Actually, never mind. This guy's
Sonic,
just leaving it down to the last member.
He's got low health. He's just been tagged up trying to run away.
How did that happen, though? Because one guy was straight center, and the rest of this team has just been picked apart now almost.
I think we literally cursed them. Commentators' curse is real. We're like, oh, good zone, good position, you got the supply drop, and then they're dead.
I just didn't realize it was just one guy and the other 3 members were really far away.
It's never how you want to play it. 3D Max are going to be questioning their decision-making. Sonic tries to put up a bit of a defense. It's not going to work out, though. He's going to go down. OBS pick up their 2nd kill onto 3D Max. And now 3D Max have 1 player who's just probably going to try and be that super solo guy, hold up and just fight for a bit of positions, but he needs to stay hidden. And, well, a map like Miramar doesn't allow you all that many options when these compounds start to get taken out by the zone.
Definitely not. We did say one of the unique members get knocked off the side, but he got rest, and they're moving on again. It's pretty much only 3D Max have died thus far. We're down to 60 people alive. We see a few knocks getting traded. I believe Ultra and Rust-Q, or Rust Squared, they were in Picado, and these teams moving out of Picado now are clashing with each other. Unique, they've moved into the center. They're in Montenuevo. That's right, they're in Montenuevo. They got a really good zone here. Ultra and Arrow Square. They were the teams that were in Picado together, and they've just clashed out here below Kumisera, trading back and forth. Ultra is down to just 1 man remaining, while Arrow Square, they're really battered up, but they do have 3 alive. I take that back, they have 2 alive.
Oh, brilliant work there at the end. Ross Squared manages to hold up, take the firefight. All his players knocked around him, but Harb will get that final kill. And Ultra, rough spot for them to be in, but RO Square consistently playing smart, good positions, taking the fights, but also doing it as a unit, which enables them to keep all 4 players alive now. Yes, they're going to have to spend some meds to keep everyone back up, but you won that fight, and now you can loot up around it.
Yeah, I do think it's funny how these 2 teams managed to clash so far away from Picado. When they landed next to each other. You'd be like, oh, I see them rotate this way. Maybe we should take a different angle.
They started off with that knock early on, one of their players, and now going to be knocked down and killed off. 99 Problems also being fired at. And this is very much out in the open. This is where it becomes a lot more difficult to try and take some positional advantage and rest. They're going to come over the hill. Nades going out as well. 99 Problems have got more than just 99 Problems. They've got teams coming at them as well.
Yeah, they're being sandwiched here, and Rest doesn't have any chill. They've already managed to knock 3, and it's just the last member running away here. Can he get away?
He's desperately trying. Shots coming out. Rest Larion is there to pick him apart. Solke helping out as well. And that is going to be 99 Problems down and out of it with only 14 teams remaining. And Rest, the unit, they managed to jump up on the fight. 99 Problems gave away their position. Didn't have anywhere to hide, anywhere to run to. And then they get picked apart.
But that's the problem with 99 Problems we've seen this far. They've been very keen to not fight. And you saw, like, when we were spectating, they were trying to go prone. And as soon as they lost a few people, they were just trying to run away. That is not how you win tournaments. Whenever you get under a situation like that, you just have to fight for your position and be willing to take the fight. You might lose a few people, but you can't just run away all the time. That's not how you compete here. Here, we're straight sent in the circle. The circle shifted onto Montenegro. We have Unique, we have the last member of 3D Max, and the other people that we saw on the screen, they're just going to be happy. When you're playing here and there's this much in the line and you're straight in the center of the zone, you're just like taking a deep breath and you're like, life is good for now. I'm happy with myself. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can go AFK. I mean, this tournament is online and you never know what happens. I do recall I had a tournament, it was actually a final of something, and I really had to go to the toilet. So in the middle of the game, I just had to say to my team, be right back. And I didn't say why, and I came back really, really quiet and said, okay, I'm back. Somebody rang my phone.
You're giving away your secret tactics of how to escape out of a game. Hopefully none of the players having to do it this time around. CRM and CZ, though, very close to each other. CRM aware, getting the grenades out. Rain Dex and Hoka just holding on, getting the bandages on, trying to keep themselves going. Smart use of the energy drink as well, so they're getting ready to either try and back out of this or just take the fight and take the challenge. But they are one man outnumbered in this position.
This is happening on the far south of the circle, and the circle shifted really hard to the northwest. So all these 3 teams we're looking at here, they have to cross a lot of ground to get back into the zone as well. We see Team 1, they're trying to run away from this situation. They take shots from CMR here, but Falling, he has a lot of aid from his team on top of the hill, and he managed to get out safe and sound. He's popping his own. He's like, haha, you didn't get me this time. But his rest of the team is still left behind. I'm a little bit curious to see him not stopping and trying to pick them up. You see CSAT, they're also running away, but it's on a buggy.
Long range, trying to get it done, spraying out for dear life, unable to make it happen. And okay, the damage from the zone isn't huge, but it's still going to chip away at him, and it's not really time that he has to waste fighting that off. He needs to now get moving, and CRM have to be cautious here.
They do have a Mirado that they're all getting into now. But with so many teams ahead of them, it's not going to be easy to drive into the zone here. They're going to be under a lot of pressure. Here, Falling, he was the lone survivor that got away in the minivan. He ditched his team, and he didn't make it all the way into the zone, and he has a full squad ahead of him. Is he going to be the hero, James?
Solo hero, is it possible? Falling doesn't want to fall to this team in front of him, wants to try and rise up and take them down. It's going to be hard either way. I'm waiting for that scoreboard to come up. Andy's going to be taken down, at least knocked down, at least for now. There's so many teams just on their way around this portion of the circle.
Yeah.
Falling got one with a nade. Just came up on the scoreboard. CZ also doing work. CZ putting in a lot of work. Falling's gone down now. But there's many teams that can just jump on it, and it's Asterion also challenging CRM. And this is where it gets crazy, right? Because we're at phase 4, circles are ticking away, players are taking extra damage here, looting has stopped to a degree, right? We're seeing less of the looting go down, and these rotations become very difficult, especially if you've managed to not keep a vehicle or not even obtain a vehicle throughout all of this.
And now we're starting to see, if you try to engage in a fight here, you have to be really certain that nobody can take shots at you. Because if you were to engage, you can get third-partied, fourth-partied, fifth-partied. So shooting at these vehicles, I mean, you might get a kill, but you can be hit from so many sides. And you can see, we still have 14 teams alive, 43 players in a relatively small circle. This is when it gets really, really hard to take fights.
Yeah, and look at Rose Square, right? They're trying to fight teams who are in compounds. They've only got the mountains to kind of give them a bit of cover if they want to duck and dive, jump up and down them. There's a Asterion there trying to take some further damage here. He's going to go out to the play zone. CRM was shooting up on into him, and CRM have kept themselves covered up by the smokes, but now they need to get a move on. They can't afford to take too much damage. DM comes around the corner, and they're going to start coming up into this. Asterion hips. He's trying to fire back, but it's not going to work out. Shots coming across the board. Play zone is ruining lives and ruining teams, and this is where all the action kicks off.
James, if you look at the top right, you can see the new circle. And oh boy, there is not a lot of place you can play. It's a big open field, and then a little bit of the hill is still in. This is going to be very chaotic.
Where are teams going to be fighting for these spots? Because it doesn't matter where you look, where you turn. With 12 teams remaining and already a circle of this size, this is going to be chaotic.
And the only way you can really play the field is with vehicles. But like you mentioned, you have to pretty much sacrifice all your vehicles to get into this part of just the game. So not a lot of people will be able to play the zone here. And we see Unique losing Yasha, trying to take a little bit more ground, just get caught off. I do think Unique still have a few players alive, but they're not looking super healthy. We see Team 1, the circle shift away from them once, shift away from them twice, and they're not having a good time trying to make it into the next zone. As we see them go down in 12th spot.
Picked apart. The next team eliminated. CRM's gone down as well. White Pulse still within it, still trying to fight off. I've also seen Rest up on the scoreboard as well. Rose Squared Harvey goes out to the play zone, at least not for now. Can they bring him back up? Can they try and fight out of this? The damage is in a so-so position. Yeah, Harv
This
will
is the
die
last
out.
member of Rose Square, and he's not afraid to take shots here.
He's just taking shots all day long. He wants to try and take these vehicles out as well. He doesn't know how many players were within it. He's not trying to play passive. He's like, I may be solo, but I'm going to get kills at least. Because he knows how many players are going to be around him at this point.
He's also like, don't drive near me, don't come near me. We're many guys here. And he managed to scare off, who was it, White Pulse? They were 4 men up. They even killed off, I believe, at least 2 or 3 of the row squares, so they should know that area is kind of clear. But because this guy was making so much noise, they were funneled into other teams, and that's why you see so many White Pulse members go down outside the zone.
And look at this south side of the circle. There are so many teams. If you've got any other position right now, you're going to be laughing because the south side is heavily clustered, which means these teams are going to quickly be whittled down.
But on the northern side, it's a big open field. It's not very playable. That's why there's so many teams on this side. And why so many people have died? I believe it's almost 20 people that have died from this circle shift alone, just because the playable space is very, very scarce. And if you actually manage to make it into the zone, it's never been a full team. You're gonna have to cut some losses getting just into the zone.
Now I love this from DM. They're playing very smart. They've got a bit of high ground here. They're looking around at all angles. They keep popping up, making sure, okay, is there a team member around? Is there someone else I can fight off here? Is there someone I can play into? 3D Max finally go down. Sharp tried to stay alive as long as possible, but he at least made it into top 8. B13, the Golden Boys, they're up on the scoreboards. It's a bit of back and forth between them and Magic. Magic, the top team, at least for this group as of now. And Kingsman, he's doing all the work, trying to put them to bed.
Is that Magic fully eliminated? I believe it is. So
Wow.
Our number 1 and number 3 team fighting against each other towards the end. And Magic got out in... No,
He's
still
still there.
alive. Okay.
Vasil's like, I got smoke.
And look at him. He's pretty alone there unless Team 13 managed to find him. But it's so fun to see people playing super consistent and fighting it out at the end game, at every game. It gives you a really good picture of who actually has a big shot of doing well at this tournament. And thus far, Magic, I would say Unique. They were Team 8. What would the name be? Their team name?
B13 Golden Boys?
B13 Golden Boys.
Yeah.
They're showing promise here. They're not afraid to move aggressive towards a good position in the zone. We see Unique here getting
Dark
eliminated
Angel.
by Dark Angel from so far away. What a shot from him.
Rest able to get it done. Mr. Ghetto over there, putting the hurt onto him. Going to push down into it. It's going to look to try and get some extra kills there. But B13, once again, they spot it, they smell the blood, and they go in for the kills. He's going to be knocked down, and he's going to be finished off. That circle is doing a lot of damage as well. These players cannot afford to be fighting up within it now. They need to push in, but there's so little space to work with.
We're down to the last 4 teams, 13 people alive. Team 8 here, they've still have 4 alive. Team 13, they're looking healthy. I see at least 3 members on top of the hill. It looks like Magic got found out, so they got either 5th or 6th position here. 2 really good games from them. And then Unique, they were with 2 players. So we're looking at 3 healthy teams, and then Unique with just 1 here because the last guy's beating out near the zone. Everybody is kind of close to the zone here, but I want to see teams that can go out, take a little bit more space for themselves. So what I don't like seeing is 4 guys here inside the same house. I don't want them to, just go out and die, but the more space you can take, the more information you can get, you can use that as an advantage later on. But I think most teams are probably just content with playing it slow here, especially Unique that doesn't have a lot of life.
DM, though, still fighting from this little bit of high ground they've got there.
Who are you favoring in this? I mean, the next circle would say everything, and I guess whoever gets the zone has the biggest advantage, but...
I'm liking B13, regardless of where the circle goes, because, yes, they're all in the house at the moment, but if they have to move out, I feel like they've been a comfortable team in terms of actually, like, teamwork and strategy and how they want to do it. They've also got a vehicle
But look at this. Oh, no.
Oh,
Team
dear.
15 have the entire circle for themselves. And all these teams that are remaining, they have absolutely no cover left. So our last 3 remaining teams, besides the guys that have the compound, have to move out in the open. How do you do? I don't...
Oh, they're going already, though. B13 are pushing up, and DM aren't far away. Kingsman spraying them down. Dark Angel's there to back them up. Nice work from B13. More kills coming up. They're lining up the scoreboard once again. And OBS trying to look for the last member of DM. He's trying to run away. The spray's not working out long range, but this is all hell breaking loose right now.
I like what DM's idea were there. They know we cannot push down into the circle, so we're going to try to get 1 high placement by pushing out B13 here. It didn't happen as well, but I think the idea was good. And now we have to see. They're going into vehicles now, and they're trying to push down here.
Right there at the end as well, Unique tried to push up into it, tried to do some damage. And this is huge. B13 coming in, rolling up on the compound, and they're looking to eliminate some of the OBS players who had such a great position. OBS able to battle back, get the first knock on, but a nade comes out and they're able to reply just a little bit. They're jumping out of the building. JC's going to be taken down. B13 going in, hungry for the kills, hungry for the win. They're trying to do it, but only Groansy's all alone at the moment. Can he hold on? Can he get any revives off? There's so much time to be worked with here. He's going to go in for the revive. 9 seconds to play with on it. It's not going to be easy. OBS still have a player on very low health up the top. But if Grozny here can get himself an opportunity to keep him going, this would be huge. How many more players can they bring back up? Woozy over here is just giving so much information to the rest of his teammates. This is a crazy 1v1 in terms of team fights. But actually, OBS...
It's a 2v2 right now. We have 2 upstairs. 1 is pushing down towards Kingsman.
Is huge. He hears it. He sprays onto him. Yura's gone down. This is amazing. OBS, they had such a great position, but B13 were ever so confident. He jumps out the window. He fires up on the Kingsman. What can his teammates do? OBS trying to make it work. Is it going to be enough? They're trying to get another revive, and it's revive versus revive.
Take a breather, James. This is so intense.
This is insane.
I love this. They got the rest and they're pushing immediately.
Confidence. They don't care about the health. They want the kills.
Ooh. And now the code's coming. Okay, they got the revive up. Let's just take a breather.
Oh my, there's no way! He jumps down. OBS managed to get it done. And that is an incredible play.
The confidence in this guy.
Wow.
He jumps out twice.
Do you know what? He is getting the big balls play of today. That was absolutely insane. Not only did his teammate just sit in the background, right, and kept him distracted, he just